disappear.
Hi, everyone. Hello. Oh, I've been having a long day. Let's just say I'm going to crash out pretty hard after this review is done. All right. But as hard as this is for me to believe, I just watched a new Superman movie in theaters.
Yep.
And
yeah, I heard there was one out.
There was one. As crazy as it may thought, no one was talking about it whatsoever. No thoughts, no nothing. No one even knew it was happening. But yes, there is a new Superman out, and we're gonna sit here and talk about it. My gosh, guys, I'm sorry. I rifled down food coming from here back from the theater. All right, so we talked about this on a podcast not too long ago, but everyone, what is your favorite Superman so far? Mike, you go first.
My favorite Superman,
Doesn't even have to be movie, just actor.
if we're including animation, it's got to be George Newbern from Justice League and the Superman versus the Elite movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would agree with that. Do you want me to call you Umbreon or Taylor in this?
Just Taylor. I didn't know what to put.
No, it's all good. All right, Taylor, what is your favorite version of Superman? Or favorite actor, I should say.
To no one's surprise, Henry Cavill.
No, it's a surprise, Henry Cavill, yes. That doesn't shock me there. My honestly favorite, I will say, I've said I love the World of Cardboard speech 1,000 times. If we're going purely favorite, it is George Newbern in Unlimited. But if we're actually talking about a live action actor, it is Tyler.
Ooh.
He does not get enough credit for how good
True.
he was in that role.
I actually need to finish the rest of Superman Lois. I've only seen the first season.
Same.
Yeah, there is a scene alone where I can't remember the town drunk's name. I'm blanking on it so hard.
Oh yeah, I remember that scene.
The scene where he approaches him in the diner and he just attempts to push him and nothing happens. He's like, it's so good. Yeah. All right, so this is completely spoilers. If you have not read the ticker below, obviously, we don't do spoiler-free reviews because, in my opinion, that's no fun. So we're
especially with this movie, because as I was writing my Letterboxd review, I was trying my hardest to not spoil a damn thing.
How?
Yeah, I could only dance around certain elements, but here I get to let it all out.
Here's what I imagine a spoiler review of this movie is. It's directed by James Gunn. Lex Luthor is a douchebag. Shocker there. Superman wears a cape. And oh boy, Krypto's a dog.
Actually, I have a note about Krypto, but we'll get to that later.
All right, so we're going to go over general opinions of the movie. I will go last. Mike, go first.
Actually, can Taylor go first? Because
go first. Yeah.
He actually saw the movie 2 days ago for the
Tuesday.
Prime. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you got tickets early from Prime, right?
Yep.
I forgot that was a thing. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. As a movie overall, I thought it was okay. There's definitely some things I liked. There's definitely some things and the I guess overarching tones or maybe unintended messages that I really disliked. But overall, I thought it was okay. I mean, definitely the strongest part for me is all the casting. I think there was pretty much no bad casting at all. I mean, but probably my absolute favorite thing is Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor, though. He made that movie for me. I think I liked him that casting a little bit more than David Cornsweet, who is great in the role. But that's how much I loved him, his portrayal as Lex. That was really good.
Oh, absolutely. I know I've said it on the podcast before, but I don't know who went. Nicholas Hoult is Lex Luthor. Give that guy every casting decision from now on, because you could have gave me a billion guesses. I never would have said Nicholas Hoult is Lex Luthor. Ever. But, yeah, anyway, Mike, go ahead.
So, shocker for those who know me and know how much I love James Gunn, but Yeah, I love this movie. I don't know where it ranks in the canon of Superman live action films. Don't ask me that just yet. But as a movie, as an adaptation of this character, I think this is about the closest that any live action filmmaker has gotten to really nailing the character directly from the comics while still putting his own spin on the material.
Yeah, I would agree a lot with certain tones. They did do one thing that some people didn't like, but I was perfectly okay with it, which we can get into that later. The one I didn't think, obviously, I'm not going to just copy the answer because my number one casting in this movie is Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor. My God, that's beyond describing words. You do not like when it's like, what do you want to describe Lex Luthor to someone? He's a petty, jealous asshole that has too much money for his own good and is not afraid to break the world if it means proving he's better than Superman.
Yep.
Nailed it to a T, on the wall, it's done. Eddie Gathegi, I think his name is?
Gathegi.
Gathegi, as Mr. Terrific. I didn't think I was going to like him that much.
Yes,
He is phenomenal.
he's definitely my favorite of the like Justice Gang.
Yeah, it's like, I knew I was going to like Fillion. I've seen Fillion's stuff. I like Isabella Merced. I haven't seen him in a ton of stuff, but yeah, he blew me away with how he presented himself, with all the tone and all that, his personality. I have nothing against Echo Kellum. He was working with what he had, and CW writing is CW writing.
Yeah.
But this is low bar, my best version of Mr. Terrific on screen. And shockingly, going on back to what Taylor said with casting, one thing that I really appreciated about this movie, and I hope they do this more in the DC movies going forward, casting actors that I see as the role and not as the actor playing the role.
Yes.
Like, everyone at the Daily Planet, I just saw as those characters. Ma and Pa Kent, very old school, very down south country versions of them, especially Pa Kent. Just saw them as the roles and not the actors. I'm not saying you can't have big name actors, but like if you don't need one, give the role to someone that's actually going to envelop it. They call them Elemental Man in this movie, but Metamorpho was also pretty good. I didn't think that's how he was going to be used. A lot of the characters that like everyone's like, there's gonna be no time. There's all this like, no, everyone had enough parts for what they needed.
Yeah, everyone was used economically.
Yeah, like, everything was basically just tools of being used by Lex.
Yeah, absolutely. And I loved how the entire movie, every single thing in it, tied back to just him. Everyone was like, well, how does all this stuff connect? There's just too much going on. It's like, no, just Lex has a lot of money, and he paid off everyone.
Yeah, they did a good job of like making his presence known, even though like everything else is going on in the background. They still did a good job of making it seem like no, Lex is like always like the main bad.
Yeah, I would be very okay if he becomes basically what, not in turning good, because I don't see that happening, but basically what they did with Loki, where he becomes one of the first big bads they have that becomes a giant problem for the entire Justice League later.
Yeah, that's really what I want to see moving forward. And one thing that they kind of sort of set up is because of his interactions with the government, I could see the path to him becoming president.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think that would honestly be good because, again, it would give us more of Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor. Like, I have nothing to say with Cordswood. I think he did great. I want to see more of these movies so I can see Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor more. Like, that scene, we'll get into favorite scenes in a second, but the scene where he's literally just going Russian roulette with a guy that served Superman a sandwich. Oh, I really thought it was gonna. Man, I really thought that was gonna last longer. Well, I'll come back with someone else tomorrow. I'm gonna kill him that you like.
Like just going into the level of petty of like
yes,
like do you remember that guy that said hi to you on the street? I'm gonna kill that guy too.
Absolutely. It is like people thought Kendrick Lamar was petty.
Oh,
I
this
didn't
is
think we were
like
gonna
Kendrick
make
Lamar times 10.
1,000. I will say one other thing before we get into whatever's. This is one of my favorite intros Superman in a superhero movie ever. I don't know who decided to write the 3 billion 3 minutes ago he lost that fight. Boom! And he goes crashing into the ground.
It's such a good way to introduce this version of Clark, and that's where the Justice League and Superman the Animated Series comparisons come in, because do you guys remember in season 1 of Justice League where Superman was getting his ass kicked like every single episode?
A lot. Yeah, I do. That was one of the things where they talked about how now they did become a punching bag quite a bit in this movie. Yeah, but it was in points where I got it. But like, I appreciate them going. He's gonna have problems every now and then, and that's fine. And then one of the problems he was having was a good reason for it to be a problem,
right?
Yeah,
So,
it gave me kind of Superman Return vibes in that a lot of it is basically just him versus environment, because like his number one priority is kind of limiting damage, like him with saving the squirrels and you know, like the people. Like he's really just trying to like first containment and then second like fighting,
yes.
and then like of course at the end you get the good old fashioned fight. But yeah, it was
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. All right, so we'll do positives first, and then we'll talk about negatives and other stuff like that. Taylor, I'll let you go first. What were your favorite like aspects, scenes, all that?
So probably my favorite thing about the movie, like you mentioned in an earlier podcast, I'm pretty sure it was like the Superman podcast, where like one of your favorite things about Superman is how the world how he interacts with the world.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed that about this movie. It felt like every extra was a part of the movie, because he kind of like his influence kind of like makes everyone do their part a little bit more. So I really liked like his influence on the world in general. You know, like with the end where all the reporters are getting together. Like it just feels like everyone is a part of this movie, and because Superman like is the person that like makes them a part of it. If that makes sense. I just really liked like him kind of interacting with everything and kind of
You nailed it. You're exactly right. I said that in that podcast. That's what I love about Superman, and they did that a ton in this movie, so it made me happy. Mike, go ahead.
Just a springboard of what Taylor said. David Cornsweet is like the perfect scene partner. He has chemistry with literally everyone in the cast, but I especially love how he interacts with Rachel Brosnahan's Lois Lane, who, you know what, I'm just gonna say it. She is the best Lois Lane on screen, even dare I say it, even above Margot Kidder.
Oh man, you were gonna get a fight with Matthew Carnes on that next podcast.
Oh, I'm ready for it. I am ready for it.
Oh yeah, that was wow. Okay, I will tell you, she's definitely up there for me. For sure, she is up there for me. My favorite version of her is from the Superman animated series.
Naturally.
But my favorite parts of it is that they were willing to just try stuff that would just be there. Like, I felt like this was a movie that was in a DC universe that actually had a DC universe in it.
Yes.
Like, people, as soon as they saw this movie, were like, that's going to be an overcrowded mess. That's not going to work. Like, no, they just had people living there. Because there's people that would be living there. And that's
especially in the like very beginning. Sorry. Especially in the very beginning, because they set the tone like immediately. Like 30 years ago, metahumans started appeared, and then that you just like they take it from there.
Absolutely. So and like the scenes where he comes back before he turns himself in, and he's like, where it's the obviously the inspiration behind like him putting his boots on with the thing in the background, the 3-dimensional imp, or I can't remember exactly what they said. But it's like where they're just talking, and superheroes are dealing with a giant problem in the background.
I love how Lois is like, should you be helping them? He's like, nah, they got it.
They got that. Like that's one thing. Like and you mentioned it earlier, Mike. James' inspiration behind this is the Justice League animated cartoon. That shows in spades, because they just had stuff going on, and you just tuned in the middle of something going on, and like giant monsters there. There's a Hammer Bavaria. There's this imp that they're fighting. There's a giant fissure opening in the ground, plus a war over there. It shows that superhero worlds would be screwed up, and if we can keep that tone going, where it's always just kind of like, man, what's happening now? What? Of course, there's something in Metropolis is splitting in half, and I need to be over there with Jordania. God, okay, yeah, I'm coming. Okay, like, I appreciate the fact. Go ahead.
Sorry, and just to add to that, I think they did a good balance of it, of kind of like not going overboard, but also mentioning here and there, like, it cost $50 million dollars in damages, and the government of going like, these metahumans might be a problem. So I feel like, that the crazy world Gunn made, even though like it, to me, it might feel like a little bit too crazy, but I think they at least did a good job of mentioning, like, it's not, this world is not all like butterflies and rainbows. There's like, they like mentioned the stuff that every people are gonna have to deal with. So like, I appreciated that.
Absolutely, that's like everyone's like living in Metropolis. Like, I saw someone bring this up on a random podcast the other day, but someone was like, you know what? If given the choice between living in Metropolis and Gotham, I would choose Gotham every time. And then I'm like, what the friggity frack are you talking about? And then the guy mentioned, he's like, you know what? You're going to have a giant crocodile every now and then. You're going to have the Joker. He's nuts. Gotham's a big city. It might be on the other end. You're not available. It's the League of Assassins isn't always there. Every now and then you got Two-Face doing some weird stuff. In Metropolis, you have space aliens. You have Luthor doing whatever. They're like, you got a really good point. Metropolis would suck too.
Yeah, like
you're about that.
Like you're not in immediate danger because there's always going to be Superman to save you. So like the amount of danger you're in is not high, but the quantity of danger is a lot more.
I wonder how much insurance people in Metropolis have to pay for anything from like renter's insurance, car insurance, homeowners.
I don't even want to know. It just reminds me of that line where, it's in that Batman and Superman animated movie where Supergirl comes.
Oh, Apocalypse,
yeah, where she wakes up and fries the monitor in the Batcave and goes, I'll just put it on I'll pay for it. Yeah, on a reporter's salary. That's
rich. She just torched $2 million worth of custom hardware.
Yes. It's so good. But, yeah, like you said, the world living in, it felt rich. I will say, honestly, I really liked the music.
Yes.
There was points at, I can't think of what exactly it was. I was going to bring up another movie with, like, certain stinger stops and other things, but, like, I didn't feel like it was overdone. There was one or two times where he put, obviously, like, actual music into it, but I do honestly appreciate how much of the actual score they put for this film was being used in it. It felt like Superman to me, which I really appreciated. And one aspect, again, that I've mentioned before that is, like, the hardest part of Superman's life is trying to be human. And that speech at the end that he gives him about, like, no, it's my greatest strength, because I screw up all the time.
Yep.
But I keep trying. But it sucks. And one thing that I do like that they showed, before we go into some other stuff and negatives, that, like, they'll go out of their way to show evil organizations and be like, yeah, well, we're all evil and this and that and the other thing. They don't often show, like, no, our boss sucks.
I appreciate that actually quite a bit. That just because you work for like a maniacal genius like Lex doesn't mean you necessarily are in lockstep.
Yeah, like them no, I'm shutting the portal. This is stupid. He's like, no, we'll shut it from the bunker. The city is splitting in half, Lex. No.
And we can. Yeah, we'll stop it when it gets to a city I like. Just
When
we'll just.
yes.
Yeah.
When it gets, and like to the degree of that, where I was seeing him doing the whatever with the button, I'm like, oh, he's actually gonna like stop it. No, he just jettisons them off the LexCorp building so that they can keep going.
By the way, I saw people complaining that the company is called Luther Corp. Like,
What does it matter?
I know it really doesn't matter, and also the fact that they can just rebuild a new tower. There, it's LexCorp now.
Yeah, absolutely. And it can show that he's even that much more egotistical. Like, it could have been my dad's, now it's mine. Like, they could still do that. But, all right. We'll go into negatives. I will go first because I'm going to be really honest with you. I don't have a... Oh, the other positive. I already like Supergirl.
Yes. Oh, and okay, I'll say this now because I teased that I had a note about Crypto. You know how he's a bad dog. Like the second we meet Kara, it informs so much of his personality.
It's how he's trained to be because she's a partner.
Yeah, like
that his head's a dog.
like Clark's back and forth with the robot. Like, yeah, it's just not unhealthy behavior.
Exactly. Yeah, that was great. Or, okay, one more before we go into the negatives. A lot of people didn't like the version of Jor-El that you got in this with the message that was sent forth. And what I always tell people is, yes, these are based off of comics, and they do things from comics and all that. But what is the thing you are essentially doing when you make a comic book movie? I've said this a billion times. You are making a new run of that comic book character.
Yep.
And the payoff at the end, when they say, oh yeah, show him his parents, it really soothes him. And then they started showing Ma and Pa Kent instead. That was really good. Like, really good.
Yeah, that moment was just really sweet. And speaking of which, one more positive before we get into some negatives, because I don't have a lot, just a few notes, but I really like the scene with Pa and Clark just sitting on the porch.
Yeah.
And he gives that speech about, your actions, your choices, that's what makes you who you are. And he said something like, parents aren't supposed to tell you what to do. We're just giving you the tools so you can make your own decisions.
Yeah, exactly. And one last thing, because I know I was going to forget about this. I do appreciate that they didn't do the cop-out and say that Lex, hacked the message to make Superman's parents look bad.
I appreciate that, too.
That's actually what it was, and they didn't just do a soft back-off later on to be like, no, they were actually really good people. They blah, 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 blah. No, they stuck with that, and they had to have people retrust them again because of it. That was good. I'm happy they didn't pansy out of that thing in there, because that would have been not good, in my opinion. If you're going to take a swing like that, you stay with it, and then work on it from there. But, all right. Negatives. I'm going to be really honest. I don't have a ton of negatives. There's a couple quirky character things that were done at one or two points. Like, Isabella Merced said, screeching at certain points. I was like, I don't know if I needed that. Honestly, as a negative, this is weirdly a negative, but it's because the characters are written well. I didn't get a lot of moments with a lot of the characters that I like because of how many characters were written so well in this movie that I didn't get to see more of them. But in later sequels, and if this thing makes the amount of money it's supposed to do, that will probably get later on. I do think that possibly this movie could have been shaved down 10 to 15 minutes-ish.
You know what's funny? I actually think the opposite. I think if this movie was maybe 5 to 10 minutes longer, certain subplots could have been a little bit more fleshed out, and this wouldn't.
Same.
And the movie wouldn't feel as overloaded.
Okay.
But that being said, another negative that I have is 95% of the writing I think is really well done, but every once in a while there's either a line that's a little bit too on the nose or just a joke that doesn't land.
Okay.
But like the scene when Clark is making Lois breakfast for dinner, that like there's just like one exchange. It's like, yeah, I get it. You guys are dating. We don't need to dwell on that like every single moment.
How long have they been hooking up? Yeah, like 3 months. That was another. Sorry, I forgot to mention. I appreciate that the characters in this movie aren't stupid.
Yes.
With the Lex and Superman or Lois and Superman relationship, they're like, no, that's happening. We're not dumb and don't see it. It's there. But
so he's Clark Kent too, right?
Yeah. Why does he keep telling people that? That's so good.
That line feels like something one of us would have written.
That does feel right because, oh man, that goes back to me wanting to break the script writers of The Flash in half when every other episode he was taking his mask off for someone. But Taylor, what are your negatives?
Okay, so I'm the opposite with some of the positives you said. Okay, let me see. I guess maybe my personal biggest negative is, I get some people like it, but just for me personally, James Gunn needs to fire his current cinematographer. Like, I'm sorry, but the visuals were one of my biggest complaints.
Okay.
Only because it was, I don't know, it just looked so weird. Like, why does he have this obsession with filming people super close up, like from the front? Like there's multiple scenes of Superman flying.
I get you on that. Okay.
Like that scene in Guardians 3 of what's his name, Warlock.
Oh, Adam Warlock.
Adam Warlock.
Yeah, I mean they even did that multiple times with Hawk Girl while she's like flying in that in the building of the president. I don't know. Just to me, it does not look good. There's probably like 2 shots that from this movie that are like recognizable that I liked. It was one of them like in the trailer where he's like saving the girl in slow-mo, and then another where he's emerging from smoke during like the final battle. Because there's like this one dynamic shot where it looks really good, but yeah, just the visuals did not work for me. So for better or worse, this, I get James Gunn didn't want to do like an origin story and people are over origin stories, yada, yada. But watching this movie feels like you're starting from season 2 of a TV show. And to compare it to the Batman, while watching the Batman, it felt like you were starting on episode 5 of like season 1. So like, to me, it kind of like,
okay.
I don't know, like you had to know a certain amount of background of all the characters because they're so familiar with each other, like, and they keep going. That's a little bit of my concern because, it didn't work unless the actors have good chemistry, which they nailed. And that kind of, it goes into like I really wanted to see more of them because it feels like I was like dropped into a movie where I missed like, an hour already. Because I would really have liked to see more interactions of Clark with the Daily Planet, like Steve Lombard. I feel like his character was really well done, but again, it felt like that, like I was missing a good chunk of stuff.
Okay, I can get what you're saying there, and I think they honestly relied on the fact of how good their chemistry was going to be to make it feel like they were doing that. I think they wouldn't have tried it if they didn't know they were going to be able to nail how good their chemistry was.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking.
Honestly, I didn't mind it too much because, like you said, the beginning was very well done. They did a very good job of setting the tone of like, okay, this is what's happening. Metahumans have been around for 30 years, so it's not that big of a deal. Superman just lost this fight, so it's setting the tone of like, no, Superman can lose. But I felt like it kind of went like 120 miles per hour through the entire movie. Like it didn't stop at some points that I wanted it to.
I can get you on that. I feel that a little bit too. You're not wrong there.
That's why I felt like this movie really could have benefited from like again, not necessarily the 20 minutes that apparently have been cut, which again, that's still an unconfirmed rumor, but having a bit of a longer runtime would have helped some of these scenes breathe a little more.
Yeah, for sure. And it'll be interesting to see what they go off of that, because like this is a good structure point to where like if they introduced enough characters that we like that can be spread off into other movies and be supporting, that where you can keep seeing them going forward. So I feel we're gonna get a lot more of what we wanted with all that stuff, obviously with this going in. But yeah, no, I do agree with you on the no real stop point. I'll just say that I do, thinking more back on it, yeah, there is a bit of that there. Because it was from... Oh, go ahead.
Also, just one thing, I know you mentioned you like the music. Like I liked the score. I think it set a really good tone of kind of like the vibe of the universe they were going. But just for whatever reason, I didn't like the 2 song choices they did. Only because it felt out of place. Like with the Mr. Terrific song, that was a great scene, but I felt like the song itself was unneeded. It could have, in my opinion, it could have done better with like just score instead of an actual song. And then the Mighty Crabjoys at the end, I feel like that was pretty unnecessary because it was only one thing they mentioned in a conversation. I didn't feel like it was that important to like actually put in the movie. So that was yeah.
I think the fact that they only put the Mighty Crabjoys song in the credits, I think that was fine, just because I think people in the audience were a bit curious what they sound like because they are a fictional band.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's a good point.
I will say I am happy that it limited it down, because the one complaint I had about Guardians 3, like the one main one, Warlock got me on a little bit, but I still liked them. There was a metric ass load of music in that movie.
And not only that, you said you got annoyed when songs would start, but you only got to hear like 2 seconds.
2 seconds. They would like start the ship, scene's over, and they had music play. Why did we have music for 10 seconds for the ship blasting off? Like, then you had great moments where they're playing No Sleep Till Brooklyn through that whole fight. Like, that's fine. But I don't need basically episode stingers at the ends of scenes with pop music in them. I think he went way... Guardians, he definitely went way overboard on. So I was happy there was only 2, but I can see where you're coming from at the not working and certain stuff like that, but I think that's just one of those things with Gunn you're going to get. I will see later on, one thing that I do want to have happen, that I will say that they nailed, at least with Wonder Woman in the last one, I want characters to have themes.
Like their own themes?
Yes. I want damn near everyone to have it.
Yeah, that's probably like one of the best things they've ever done with the whole DC universe, because I personally believe that like the Wonder Woman theme they made is one of the like best pieces of music created in like the past 20 years. Like I still listen to it. So like I feel that like music makes a huge difference in elevating these characters to larger to life.
Absolutely, and you can even redo old stuff. Like, I tell you right now, one of my favorite versions of a song in a superhero movie now is that updated version of Spider-Man's theme that they used in the home trilogies. That song is amazing. It's nothing new. It's just something they redid, and it works out perfect. Because you talk about, I don't like certain scenes having random intro stingers. Whenever you're gonna have cool moments with someone showing up, like the thing that I talked with you I hated about what was it? Rise of the Beast, the Transformers movie?
Oh yeah.
After Bumblebee dies and comes back, I would have like very much appreciated like an actual like sympathetic, awesome like score coming back into the bat. No, I would have wanted that more than Mama Said Knock You Out. That's
personally, I love that scene. That was just like something silly that, you know, personally I love that.
I feel different than everyone, and that's fine. Mike disagreed. He liked it too, so that's fine. I wouldn't mind where, like, you get their theme, and then at cool moments down the line, you can either slow it down or, like, speed it up and just use different versions of it to make certain scenes more just impactful. It's just really, like, when Xavier comes in Multiverse of Madness, and you hear a little bit of the X-Men theme just barely play in the background. like that scene is magically a billion times better because of that 3 seconds of music.
Now, speaking of themes, how do you guys feel about the score for this movie? Using John Williams' theme, but transforming it for like a modern audience.
I like it better here than when they used the Elfman theme in Flash.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah, I agree
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah, I liked it
That
here. I
did-
definitely
that's
liked
better.
that like electric guitar like theme, like yeah.
Yeah.
So
It-
yeah,
it's
I
cool.
like it. I mean, it's like a cool update for the modern era.
Yeah. And it still has a wholesome enough feel to where you feel like the time period it came from.
Yes.
But it's
Yeah.
newer. So
Yes.
yeah.
Like it feels like a good fit for like this version of Superman. So yeah, I'll give him this. But and I also want to say like one last negative, like because it's probably like one of my biggest ones. Like you said, you were glad that they stuck with like parent change. Personally,
You
I
like it?
really didn't like that. Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
it kind of just points to a fact of like one aspect Gunn does that just really annoys me sometimes is that um, he'll just like change something serious to make it into a joke. Like I feel like you could have still maybe done a little bit with that message, but you didn't have to like make it into something like, oh, he's like making it into like a harem to like spread his genes or whatever. You know, so, like I just felt
I know what you're about to say.
yeah, I just felt personally that because they changed to that second part, it made the first part kind of like redundant and throw it in the trash. Like I feel like you could have still had the ending with his parents if you had done the like cop out of be like, no, that message was fake. He hears it and then he says, okay, like and you know he hears it and says, okay, like but still put on the footage of my parents because even though they told me to be good, I'm only being good because my pa and ma Kent, they raised me to be good. Like, you know, that I feel like you could have still had that without changing that. And one like specific thing, like the ending scene where he's like making a speech of like I'm human something. I just like I didn't love the fact because this is something Gunn usually does in his movies. I didn't like love that after that dramatic scene, Crypto comes in and like tears Lex apart and make have to like make it a comedic scene. I didn't love that, but only because I'm a dog person, so like I know I liked Crypto, so I felt it a little bit amusing, but only because
Yeah.
the lines they were saying were so powerful. I kind of wanted to sit with it a little bit more.
I get what you're saying.
But yeah.
I get you. Did you like the portrayal of Crypto in the movie?
Yes. Like CGI aside, it was pretty good. And like at first I didn't love the fact that, you know, he wasn't like a good boy and like Superman didn't have this like kind of bond with him, but then at the end once it showed like okay, yeah, but and then once he mentioned it's just a foster situation, I'm like okay, yeah, that makes sense.
The fact that
And-
it's actually Supergirl's dog, yeah, that was
and-
such a good thing.
And one very last thing, I loved Supergirl in it. Like from the 1 minute she was on screen, I can already tell that Millie, I can't pronounce her last name, but like
Alcock?
Alcock or something.
I believe
But
so.
I can already tell. Yeah, Alcock. I can already tell she's gonna be a very good Supergirl. I just like didn't like. Of course, Gunn has to put his like Gunnism in and be like, you know, I'm a party girl. Like, bye, bitch. And like, you know, he recently said something good, like kind of that explains it. It's gonna be this version of Supergirl that she has, like she was on Krypton. She's seen a lot of death, so she does, you know, think questionable things to drown out the feeling. I just felt like it was a little bit too much for me. Could have felt like you could have like done the like him tearing her up and then her leaving instead of adding that last line in.
I think what they're trying to do, and it's why I like her quite a bit, is they're trying their hardest to not make her be Clark.
Yes. So
To me, anyway. And it's gonna seem more like she's the little sister that he never wanted. That he kind of has to be like, what are you doing? And if they're gonna make a party girl of the League, it's out of the thing, like, she kind of makes the point that, like, she's the easygoing one until you piss her off.
Yeah,
I feel
then you do not want to mess with her.
I agree with that, but personally, I felt like they could have committed to it more. Like maybe she acted a little bit more drunk.
Okay.
To me, it just felt like that's like her personality. Like, oh, she's just like some party girl, and she's silly. So, like to me, in order to, I don't know, just me personally, I just felt like they could have, if they were going that route, and now after seeing the movie, now that I know they are, just like for me personally, could have felt like maybe they could have like just committed to a little bit more of like, but yeah, that's just me. But I still like, even the minute seeing her, is great.
Yeah. I do love that they added she likes to party on planets without red suns because of our
Yeah.
whatever we can't. They basically had the Captain America moment, but with him, like, I appreciate that you had to, like, no, she went to go get drunk.
And I do like the fact that they mentioned that the world is bigger beyond Earth. Like, they mentioned the Green Lantern Corps, but Saran says, I thought that we could take them to like this intergalactic zoo or something. Like they make it known that yes, they know that the world is much, much larger.
Yes. Yeah, that's one of the things with them saying that metahumans have been around for 30 years.
Actually, no, it's 300 years.
Oh, it's 300 years. So what was the 31? Is that just how long?
30 is when Clark landed
Yes, that's
in
what it was.
Smallville.
Or 300 years. Sorry. Like I said, it's been a day. But yeah, that'll be interesting because again, it's one of those things where right around when I want to say phase 2.5 was going, there was so many people bitching about Marvel movies. We're like, why they're in New York? Why isn't Doctor Strange showing up to help with this problem? Why isn't this person doing blah, and this and that? And then they'll be like, well, because of money. That can't happen. And there's comic book runs where people are in New York. You could be in Marvel New York. You could get stopped by a carjacking from everyone from Reed Richards to Ghost Rider. But yet they still have stories in New York about people being on their own as a superhero.
Yep.
But I do like that, again, with making it feel like it's been 300 years, you don't know who's going to show up. Ever. And I would like every now and then to be one of those random off rolls that you had no idea was sitting there because the character's going to end up being 100% CGI and they just end up in the movie and you don't expect it because, again, 300 years.
Yeah, like it would be nice to see in like a future Superman sequel, Black Lightning shows up just because he also happens to operate in Metropolis, or how about a newsroom style series called The Daily Planet where they get to like report on whatever's happening in the DC universe.
Yeah, you had some, Taylor. I saw
One thing that I just thought of, what could be a really cool villain, like maybe in the next movie or something they set up along the way, Vandal Savage.
Yes.
It could. They definitely could. I would
Yeah,
like that.
because you could be like, this is like the like Apocalypse, like this is the beginning of metahumans, and that could be cool.
I like that a lot because that could be a very easy in the background kind of guy that doesn't have to do anything because he's immortal. He's just there. That could be very easily done. I like that quite a bit. Yeah, Vandal could be very easily one of your first. Well, I would say probably second. They need to do someone before they deal with the immortal, in my opinion. But yeah, that could be really good. And Savage would be a great one. Like even their representation of Savage in Legends of Tomorrow is fantastic.
Oh yeah, I loved him in that.
Yeah. So like, just that character deserves a lot of love because he's fantastic.
Back when Legends of Tomorrow was actually about like time travel or like had an actual plot.
And not just going around with giant bee-boos in the middle. Man, that show lasted almost longer than the rest of them, and it lost the plot in like season 3.
Time to make America grow again.
So weird. Man, me and Mike used to cover all those shows on a weekly basis. And when I tell you I tapped out, I don't tap out of things easily. I hard tapped out after a while. Like, I can't do this. I can't.
Yeah, it got to a point where it was just too much. But
22 episodes a year of like 5 shows going at once, and they're like also Stargirl and Black Lightning and man, stop, please.
But with this new DC universe, I'm honestly jazzed because the possibilities are endless. I just mentioned a newsroom style series with the Daily Planet. Another potential spin-off, I think one that's probably going to happen sooner rather than later, The Terrifics, or just a Mr. Terrific movie.
Oh, absolutely. I would take, just after the little bit I saw of him today, I'd take a whole movie with that version of Terrific. He was
Same.
Yes.
fantastic. And the fact that I partially think that Terrific is in this movie strictly because Crypto was in it. Just because of the DC.
Oh yes, yeah, with the spears and the yeah, that was a really smart like use of your assets.
Yeah. Also, we didn't talk about it at all. Did you guys feel that I didn't think so? That it was too early to basically introduce Bizarro?
No.
I didn't. I thought that actually worked kind of well. That showed that
Wait, what?
that degree.
Ultraman.
Yeah, Ultraman.
I know it's Ultraman, but like he's too stupid. He can't do things on his own. And then I'm like, okay, this is basically Ultraman / Bizarro because you gotta. So, good.
Okay, so that goes into probably my favorite thing they did with Lex was his brains is in controlling him, you know, going like the 1A and predicting his moves. That was really good.
Mm-hmm.
That was like him like people controlling him and like, you know, like how does he know? He knows his move before he even makes it, and he's like playing chess against him basically. That was really good.
That was really good. And the Brains vs. Brown thing coming back with Crypto just coming up and chewing the shit out of him so he couldn't do it.
Yeah.
That was really good. That was fantastic. Yeah, they made such good use of Crypto. But yeah, I thought it was like for bringing something in that early, that worked out really well. Cause yeah, that was, you had a black hole tearing Metropolis apart in the first movie, and I didn't feel like it was overdone.
That was surprisingly well done. I do have a little bit of complaints with like some CGI in the pocket dimension during.
Yeah, a little bit was kind of wonky at parts.
Yeah,
it was a little wonky.
Especially and probably the worst looking shots to me were right after they escape and during the final battle with all the like raptors coming to him, because like that. It's in the one of the trailers, the slow-mo shot of him like punching the tooth out of someone, and the like laser light show that personally did not look good like at all.
There's a lot going on.
Felt like very video game-ish, like unfinished, like something you would show as like a visual of it or something.
Previs. Yeah, there were certain parts and like there's certain things where I know what he was trying to do. So it was because typically, for anyone who don't like him or not, all the Guardians movies, for the most part, had very, very, very good CGI in them. I just think this was more of trying to pull off fight scenes in certain ways to where, again, at the lightning speed pacing of how this thing was edited, and certain stuff to where you kind of had to make it move in a certain way that if it was slowed down a touch, the CGI probably would have looked better.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. Overall, I would honest to God give that like an 8 out of 10.
I would go 9 out of 10. And yes, I am planning on seeing this a few more times.
I'm probably seeing it wrong because my roommate and his brother couldn't see it today, so I'll end up getting to see it fresh off of like actual 8 hours of sleep tomorrow. What would your score be, Taylor?
Probably right. I still have to think about it a little bit more, but probably right now, like a 6.5 or maybe a 7.
All right.
Because as a whole, it was okay, but like if you're thinking about it like in a corporate sense, if the goal of it was to make you want to see more, then it definitely did that, because there's a lot of things that I really liked, I just didn't get enough of it. So like
Yeah.
like if the goal was to make you like want more, they definitely did that.
Yes.
Because
Absolutely.
if I didn't like the movie personally, I'd still definitely like to see something else in the universe.
Yeah, and I think that was also one smart thing about it. That's like, even if you weren't the hugest fan of the Superman, they put enough in to be like, you've got everybody else too. There's other
Mhm.
cool stuff going on. So it's, yeah, it'll. Is the next one Supergirl? Am I wrong about right about?
Yes.
Yeah, the
No, I
next
mean,
the next movie is Supergirl, and Peacemaker season 2 drops
oh,
literally next month.
I forgot. Yeah, he was in this for 2 seconds. I forgot about
that
that.
that made me eye roll so hard. Me personally,
I'm the opposite. I'm the opposite. Like my audience was eating that up when when he showed up on screen.
yeah, there's definitely a lot of laughs, but me personally, I just hate Peacemaker. Like, I couldn't even finish the show. I got like 2 episodes in, and it's just like, this is just not good for me. So, like me, yeah, that just made me eye roll so much.
Yeah. And like I forgot also, Sean Gunn is in this for 2 seconds as Maxwell Lord and has like one of the best lines in the entire movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even conservatives and liberal can agree we all hate Lex Luthor. That's just like, I loved that because it shows just going out, because of course the other big douchebag in DC is gonna be like, oh well, they all hate that guy when I'm actually doing some bad shit myself. That'll be it. Oh man, I cannot wait. He's gonna be a dude. Oh, he's gonna end up being a real big douchebag. It's gonna be interesting seeing him like playing a somewhat normal character,
Somewhat.
because like Kraglин's normal-ish, and then he's just,
Yeah.
and then he's oh now I'm forgetting what the heck he's called. In
Weasel?
Suicide Squad. Weasel, and then he's mocap for Rocket. So like this is gonna be the most
Mhm.
normal-ish thing he's done. So that'll be interesting. Any other closing thoughts before we get out of here?
Just one more thing. One thing I really appreciate about this movie is that yes, it's throwing a lot of like world building at you, but James Gunn was very careful not to leave too many threads like
Yeah.
on like he was very careful not to leave threads dangling. Like everything that's in this movie is about this movie.
That is true. I suppose I really think about that. Yeah, that is a good point. I didn't think about that at all. Everything kind of just got even the end credit scene was just something to joke about with the building not lining up right.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
That was funny. Also, I got lied to. I got told by someone online there was 2 post-credit scenes in this movie.
I mean, basically, like one that's like just right after the movie, like that, like a snippet of just him sitting on the moon with Crypto, and that
Yeah,
kind of counts.
kind of counts, I guess, but like
Yeah.
that's not what I was expecting. But anyway, you got anything else for off, Taylor?
None that I can think of now. I mean, yeah, I just overall pretty good. Just like just like personal issues, just like me, not like of things of the movie not vibing with me, but definitely like the cast hit like 200%.
Oh yeah.
And like just the pacing, even though I get enough of things I liked, I still want a lot more of them.
No, absolutely. I agree 100%. Yeah, I really enjoyed the movie. I, like you said, wanted more of this world, and that's what it is. It's going to be interesting to see how the rest of it goes. I've never been this excited to just hear castings of characters now, because if they can all work as well as this,
Yeah,
holy hell.
that does give me a little bit of hope now that you mention it, because like if this is the cast of this works so well, yeah, you make a good point. I am intrigued of what they'll announce.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be very, very, very interesting. Like, just the main people, like The Flash, anyone in those roles of what the hell they're going to do. But I did appreciate James Gunn. He's like, who would you cast Grant Gustin as if he was in there? The Flash. I would cast him as the Flash. He was good. The writing of that show was bad.
Yes.
No, Barry, we're the Flash. Oh, well.
And also,
What are they doing?
Also, if there was one takeaway I can remember from this movie, it's that it's making me really excited for Supergirl. Because me personally, I just really liked that minute of Millie Alcock.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, that just made me a lot excited because it was one of those moments oh, but
Yeah.
that just
I wasn't expecting her to show up at all.
same. I mean, I knew a good amount of the movie only because I got the toys spoiled for me. Like at Denver Fan Expo,
Really?
I saw a toy from the movie of Ultraman, so that's how I knew
Oh,
of. Actually, it was. I don't think it was Fan Expo, but it was. It was actually no. I think it was. Yeah, but yeah, I got the Ultraman spoiled for me, and
How does with toys does this still happen?
yeah, that's only that just made me know more about what was happening. Okay, yeah, that's how he got into the fortress. That. Okay, that's how he was able to beat him. Yeah. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
But,
yeah, that actually I should have realized it because obviously what age Millie is, but just actually feeling how excited I am because this feels like we're gonna get a 19-year-old feeling Supergirl.
I think she's just turning 21 because that's how she was written in Woman of Tomorrow. It's her 21st birthday, so she's celebrating being all wild and all that.
I like that. Yes. Oh, that's gonna be good. But all right, we are going to get on out of here. Taylor, where can everybody find you on social media and such?
I am on the bird site that shall not be named at Umbreon at 1996, I believe, and PlayStation Umbreon _T96.
There you go.
Thanks for having me. The fans, I guess, wanted me back. They're like, bring that Umbreon guy who's really funny in the chat. So but thank you for all the people that wrote in.
Oh, I always appreciate you coming by in the chat, dude. It means a lot to me. Mike, where can everybody?
You guys can find me on various social media sites at Captain K42. You can check out my quick thoughts on letterboxd.com/CoachK42. And you can follow Renegade Pop Culture on Facebook and Blue Sky at Renegade Pop Culture. You can also find us here on YouTube, on Podchaser. Consider supporting our Patreon at patreon.com/Renegade Pop Culture. Listen to all of our podcasts on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen. And last but not least, everything can be found at renegadepopculture.com. You need to escape, so do we.
Absolutely. You can find me everywhere at Organoid Zero, mainly on Twitch and YouTube. If you are a fan of Ghost of Yotei, and at the same exact time today, while I was eating my food, getting ready for this, I watched the State of Play. I cannot wait for that damn game now. Oh, they have a music mode in it from the director of Samurai Champloo.
Oh, nice.
To make his own tracks for it. That's just one of the minorest things they did. You don't need to do that, but that's so cool. But anyway, if you're a fan of the game, I am giving away a digital deluxe edition of it on the midnight release on October 2nd. All you need to do is be subscribed and watching during the release. Yes, Manny, I'm talking about you. I will re-roll it if someone is in there. If you're not in there, I'm not giving the game away. That is not happening ever again. Now, if you are into cosplays and such and conventions, you can look at my Instagram over at Organoid Zero. All that is kept over there. And yeah, until next time, we will see you all later. Bye!